ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. In this video, let us examine what is a religion. You see, religion deals with the expression of Dharma, the rule which governs the whole universe and existence. Vedas refers to it as Rut, which means an unchangeable law. So, from the word Rut is derived the word Rutu, means seasons. So, the art of knowing the intrinsic discipline of the supreme law of life is called Dharma. So, Buddha used a Pali word for this, that is Dhamma. So, when a Buddhist monk says, I shall surrender to the self, means he is taking shelter to the eternal law of life through which he was born and into which he dissolves himself at the end of the life. So, man lives by thoughts. Before he takes a single step forward, he thinks more than 1000 times and thinks in a more than 1000 ways. But still he chooses a direction which is found to be wrong at a later date. So, an unconscious rule governs the existence. See, when man eats food, the unconscious law digests the food. But when he interferes with that law and go against it, then man is creating a chaos within. So, the trees, they blossom at certain time and they bear fruits at certain time. Different trees, different seasons of blossoming and flowering and bearing fruits. So, that unconscious law or rule governs the existence of different species. Rivers, they flow towards the ocean. What are the maps? How does they know the direction towards the ocean? An unconscious law guides them to merge into the ocean. So, the man thinks that he is suffering, and he thinks its suffering is a punishment. See, a man wanders into a jungle leaving the straight road. Then, when he walks in the jungle, thorns prick him. See, the pricking of thorns causing injuries to him has happened because he has not chosen the straight road to walk. So, when he leaves the jungle and treads the straight road, he will not be pricked by any kind of thorns, etc. So, similarly, suffering is not a punishment. In fact, it is because of the ignorant act or action of the man. He suffers not because of the lack of any direction. You see, a man is there. He enters into a house. So, he, instead of going through the door, in wandering, he want to enter into the other side of the hall or room, and in the process his head gets hurt by hitting the wall. So, when he tries to enter the other side through the wall instead of through the door, which is very much available, and he could have found it when he has searched for it, or when he has seen with his own open eyes, he would have found the door to walk in to the next room or hall, whatever it is. So, this injury caused because of the hitting of the wall by the head is because of his ignorance of the existence of the door, because of his lack of noticing the existence of the door already available. So, similarly, it is the law, and the law itself is godliness. The nature is full of godliness. So, when you go against the nature, when man goes against the nature, then he feels hurt and he feels he got punished, and resultantly the suffering arises. So, it is not the punishment imposed by the nature or God. It is your own actions which determines your nature, which determines your suffering or joy. So, when you live in harmony with that supreme law of life and move in harmony with the nature in the universe, all actions, whatever you undertake, they all become the right actions, and resultantly you enjoy the melody of those virtuous actions in the kind of joy and happiness. So, whenever man is unhappy, mind it and realize it that it is somewhere he has gone against nature. So, for every misery or suffering, man has to introspect himself where he has gone wrong or against nature. So, all the actions which were in tune with nature blesses him with joy and bliss. So, man should start living in tune with nature to derive joy and happiness from the life. So, in this regard, I would like to say a few examples. Buddha said that truth, that is the truth which works. The truth is which works. So, how to understand this statement of the Buddha? The truth which works. Now, can we define God? Can we define truth? Because they are indefinable. The meaning is so huge, it's so vast, it cannot be contained in any kind of language or words. So, Thomas Alva Edison, as you all know, he has invented the electric bulb, and so many other inventions are there. So basically that is the first invention of that great scientist. So he went to a village just for sightseeing or for relaxation. So a small village, there was a school, and all the students of all the classes have arranged an exhibition in which they have exhibited what they have made out from the teachings of the masters there. So there was electrical department, physics, chemistry, and all that. Now, because he was basically a scientist, and he went to the electrical department to see what the students are demonstrating. So one student, seeing Thomas Alva Edison, took him around, and he has shown the articles which they made, which operate because of electricity or power. So when he has seen different articles like small buses, the trains, etc. So Edison has asked that student, so they all work with electricity? He said, yes. What is electricity? Can you please explain to me? They don't know, the student doesn't know he is Thomas Alva Edison. But he said, the student said, sir, I don't know what is electricity. But we all know how to use the electricity. Because of that, we are able to make all these things. But anyhow, your question is pertinent. So I will ask my teacher, who is a graduate, and she will be able to answer your question. So he called the teacher and posed the question, whatever Edison has asked, and she also pleaded ignorance about the electricity, and she also said, we only know how to use it, but we don't know actually what is it. Then she said further, the principal of the school is very well educated and is a very learned man. I will call him so that he will be able to answer your question. So the principal has come. He also pleaded the same ignorance and said, we all know only how to use electricity, and we don't know what exactly it is. So at this point, Thomas Alva Edison said to them, please don't feel embarrassed about my question. I am Thomas Alva Edison. I also know only how to use electricity, and I do not know what exactly it is. So, similarly, as Buddha said, the truth is that which works. Similarly, the electricity or power is there, and they all know how to use it, and they have used it, and they have made inventions and all that for the welfare of the mankind and all that. Similarly, Dharma or religion means it's an expression of Dharma, and Dharma means the supreme law of life which governs the existence and universe. When man goes against that supreme law, then he suffers. So another example, a live example, is one master told his disciple to a question posed by him like this. The disciple had asked, what is the procedure, or what is the practice, or what is the method to be followed when you say be in tune with the nature? Then the master said like this. You see, there was a father who want to get married his daughter. So he got married to his daughter, and the daughter was suffering from cancer, a terminal disease. So the father was suffering a lot about the condition of his daughter. So he don't know how to resolve that problem, that medical problem. So he was feeling very sad and all that. But the master said, you know why that suffering has come to the father? The suffering of the father is due to this reason. The father has created his own suffering. Then disciple asked, how? Then the master said, the marriage which the father performed to his daughter was against the wishes of his daughter. So the daughter was not able to live harmoniously with the offspring, with the husband. and that has caused her that contradictory life, because she is not able to accept, because she was having an earlier, some kind of love affair which the father has not accepted earlier, and all that. Now she is suffering, and will the master said, will the father ever know? Will the father ever come to know that his own adamant behavior in performing or in not acceding to the wishes of his daughter has resulted in that problem? So, will he ever come to know? Probably he may not realize that it is his own doing which has caused him this kind of suffering. So, fall in tune with nature. When you are in tune with nature, when you are harmonious with whatever happens in nature or the happenings, then because those happenings are happening according to the supreme law of life, then the suffering, whatever the suffering, in whatever mode, becomes nullified. When you realize your own attitude against the nature, and when you realize that there is every possibility of overcoming and rectifying your action in the right direction, which helps you to realize the joy and happiness in being tuned with the nature. So, the supreme law of life, unless you find the door, that divine door, you will be in ignorance only. So, man has to realize that the failures and consequent suffering is because of his violation of the rules or the violation of Dharma. That means the violation of the divine order. So, man at that stage, all sufferings which he feels will end once he realizes that his will only will prevail. And when he is in tune with that divine will, when he is in tune with the nature which is the will and supreme law of life, then all joy and happiness manifests on its own, with its own melody. So, that is religion. Thank you.